Hello everyone, it's Steamboy27, doing some post-commentary. I decided that since my last video for some reason ran at full speed, I decided to do a playthrough at full speed. Here you can see me taking off my hair, my helmet, not my hair, and starting with Chun-Li. I wanted to do this playthrough to test the capabilities of Genijin, or Genijin, which is the super you get if you hold shoot and jump at the same time. While you're at the starting screen, you can also do Hadokens due to this effect. I've learned that if you're using a keyboard, the Hadoken is pretty useless because most keyboards will only register 3 buttons at a time. If you're shooting or jumping, well, you're not jumping when you're doing the Hadoken on the ground. If you're doing any of that kind of stuff, your computer's probably not going to register the diagonal or the forward at times, and it's kind of frustrating. So the Hadoken, try using a pad. Here I forget I have a 1-up on the bottom. But other than that, the Genijin is pretty useful, and if you use it right, you can actually have a little bit of fun. Change up the boss order if you wanted to. I'm starting with Chun-Li simply because I have access to the Hadoken, and I might as well try and exploit it against her. The Genijin is pretty useful. Here I try to jump over the thing, but Bushido Joe gets me once again. Gotta go over here to get the E-Tank. Now, I half assume that some of you have watched my other videos, some of you maybe are just new, so I'll talk about some things I think about the game. A lot of the stages here are very short, like, wicked short. You can beat this game in less than an hour, and if you're really good, maybe under 30 minutes. Ooh, 1-up. And while this is a fan game, it was backed by Capcom, and I feel that maybe it could have been a little longer. Some of the stages have so much development they could use. The Blanca Ball itself wasn't very well used either. How you could bounce off it if you held A and jumped on it. That'll be shown later in this video. Felt like the Blanca Ball could have been more, the Tropical Hazard could have been more of a thing you could use, like as a default weapon, like the Mega Ball in Mega Man 8. And it's just kind of awkward to use. But, hey, that's just me. I also discover how exactly to get Akuma after, during this playthrough. In my other run, I got 3 perfects during the course of the game, and, well, I got to fight Akuma. In this playthrough, I only get 2 perfects. And, well, I don't fight Akuma. So you have to get 3 perfects throughout the course of your game. Also, I discovered you can crouch under the spinning bird kick. So the Hadoken in this situation isn't very good if you can't execute it correctly. It's kind of hard to do. Here you can see me having some trouble doing it, but there you go. In this playthrough I'll be using only the Mega Buster to fight bosses, but I'll be using the weapons to go through stages. This will change during the boss rush, where I compare how effective each weapon is on the boss weakness. Yeah, no change in sprite for the You Got screen. I thought that was a little bit of laziness kind of thing. Although this is an Easter egg, so I guess having hair is kind of okay. Overall, the only trick to this game, the Genijin, is only the Genijin is pretty useful. I don't like the standing Hadoken. It's pretty worthless considering how fast-paced this game is and how short it is. It's probably only useful on Chun-Li if you don't want to fight Ryu first. Other than that, all the other Easter eggs are cute and they don't break the game or anything, and that's the way it should be. Here we have some Laser Joes. You just gotta wait till they drop their shield and shoot them. Or if you're lazy, you can just stand in front of them and use Lightning Kicks, since Lightning Kicks uses the most, how do we say it? Most efficient, most economic weapon of the game. You can do the Lightning Kicks for days. And for some reason the shot dissipates there. I'm not quite sure what happened. It certainly wasn't because it hit their bullet. That I know for sure. Take the long road up here to get an E-Tank. And I charge a Hadoken here. Then I guess it's okay on those guys. If you don't want to deal with the Charge Buster sound. I do agree with some people on this that the Charge Buster sound is kind of annoying. Some games have made it so that the Charge Buster sound goes away after a certain while, and you'll just be left glowing. I think that's excellent. But some others may disagree. Either way, here we can demonstrate that the lightning legs gets rid of these hockey pucks, or whatever they are. Oh, here's the fun part. Here you'll see me trying to activate Ganagin really badly, and it'll almost be the end of me. I keep trying to activate it, but it doesn't work. Ganagin is also kind of hard to execute. That's another thing I kind of have issues with. I would have rather it been a separate power of its own. That and the fact that you can't cancel out of it once you start it is kind of limited. Yeah, there. Now I activate it. I don't know, I don't know why I did it. Probably out of spite, because I couldn't activate it earlier. It says post-commentary after all. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, this is just a video footage, just to show some people, like maybe, who are dissatisfied with the speed of my playthrough, currently. Because it was pretty slow. Mostly due to the fact that I had a PlayStation controller, a microphone, and screen capturing equipment running at the same time. Here I only have screen capture and a controller plugged in, so there you have it. Now here's where I get to talk about interesting different stuff. Sea Viper's weakness is the lightning legs. However, it's kind of dumb because of the range you have against Sea Viper. She has a lot of distance moves, some rushdown attacks, like the seismic hammer. She's usually in the air when she does her blaze kick. She has the optic blast. The Thunder Knuckle, the charge move. It's kind of hard to apply. What's it called, Blaze Dance? It's hard to apply to there too, because it creates a shockwave. Most of the time you'll be just getting hit when you're doing the lightning legs. Yeah, especially here. You're going to be stationary when you do the kicks. Oh, and there you get an ultra combo finish screen if you use the Ganagin. That's the only time Megaman can do it, by the way. But the lightning legs, it's not useful. It's not useful on this boss. If you use it on this boss, you're just going to be in a damage race, trying to kick her before she can kill you. Yeah, the screen capturing equipment kind of freezes up every now and then, because simply my computer can't handle it. But that's what I'll have to say. The lightning legs, if it had shield-breaking properties and all that, it'd be a much better weapon. But, what can I say? This is a fan game backed by Capcom. Dalsum is a different story, though. I think the Hadouken is very effective on Chun-Li. I think the lightning legs is pretty bad on Sea Viper. Same goes for Vega later in the game too. I'm trying to show you that you can only have one Hadouken out at once. You can't have two. You can only have one out per time. These rolling dudes, I hate them. If the lightning legs went through shields, I think it would be a much better weapon, but what can I say? There is some use to the lightning legs though, and I'll show them in this stage. You can skip this guy if you decide to not just deal with him and don't need a power-up or anything like that. Quickly move here and you won't get back attacked by the thing. Now here's where I show you the lightning legs' power. You see these? This is also bad program, but you can use it like an eraser. Shot eraser if you wanted to. It's pretty good at dissipating projectiles that come in. This also applies to Dalsum, so if you don't have the optic blast or the optic laser, you can actually use Chun-Li's lightning legs to dissipate the Yoga Inferno, as well as all of his other projectiles actually. I don't demonstrate it here, simply because I wanted to use the Ganagin and show you its effectiveness on Dalsum, but if you're listening to this commentary, well then there's a little hint for you. You can use lightning legs to get rid of some projectiles in this game, and here the game freezes up again because of screen capture. The game, my computer isn't perfect. I'm just your average dude with an average computer, but hey, I like my computer. Also, I hate these guys. Lightning legs even sounds like an eraser sound. It sounds like it's erasing things. Here I missed the jump because I'm dummy. I'll also be discussing boss attacks and boss strategies during the boss rush, unless I find something more prudent to think about. Up here, if you're gonna go across, don't go into this room over here. It's just a booby trap. There's 2 moving platforms and one of those warping dudes that shoot spiral flares or whatever they are. I don't know what they are. I gave them names. Here you can just jump over and dash these guys. If you had a charge shot ready, you could kill these guys, which I did not, and I was very ill prepared, but oh well. Take the top road, as the bottom road will only get you to the second room and stuck. Same goes for there. Here you can find these guys. If you have the optic laser and you're willing to use it, you can do that. If you try to go under the stairs, they'll warp and try to intercept you, but it's no problem. Alright, here's Dalsum. I'm going to activate the Ganagin, very badly, right, by the way. It's really bad. It's kind of hard to use. But here I think the Ganagin is actually very useful. You can use it to kind of emulate the optic laser. It'll go through a ton of the durability of Yoga Inferno, and none of the projectiles that are aimed at you will probably disappear. The important thing is, though, to keep firing. Without Ganagin, Dalsum is one of the harder bosses of this game, because you can't avoid the Yoga Inferno unless you jump over him, which I do every now and then. Not here, though. Actually, I think I die, because I get hit by collision damage. Another weird thing about the Ganagin is that even though there are 3 afterimages of you, you only get double the shots. Here, I could have blown through the Yoga Inferno and the Catastrophe, but I had a little brain fart, and I died. But I do put up a better fight this time. I'll show you a nice little, more graceful victory. The reason I'm doing this, the reason I fight all these guys with the Buster, is because I want to expand the game. The game has only been out for less than a week now. And there you can see an example of it blowing through the Yoga Catastrophe, as well as jumping over the Yoga Inferno. It sounds weird, but when Dalsum is not teleporting, you want to be closer to him. That way you can jump over the Yoga Inferno like I did there. And there. And that'll be just about it. The game has only come out some odd days ago, like less than a week, and most people are just going to either fight Ryu or Chun-Li. And most of them are probably going to fight Chun-Li. But because of this code for Ganagin, you can kind of choose to fight other people. Also, some people say Rolento is pretty easy too. But with that, you can expand your game, kind of, you know, see what happens if you get this before that and that before that. I personally like to beat Blanca first because I want to get his beach ball, his watermelons. Because you can jump higher with him and avoid a lot of obstacles. Blanca's stage is a little weird, especially during the footage. Because of all these little propeller guys running around, the frame rate will drop to about 30 frames per second, which is a little jarring, but I hope you'll forgive me. This is the only stage that does that to me. Maybe it's because there's so much stuff on the screen, but the game will slow down significantly. I'm sure you've already noticed. There's nothing I could do at the moment, because, well, it was already done. I was already doing recording. I wasn't about to stop. Ganagin is something that's moderately useful against Blanca, but not really. Oh, so here I take another road that I didn't take during my Let's Play. You actually miss something when you go this way, but it is a shorter route. You miss a 1-up on top of the trees. But if you're not interested in 1-ups, then go down here. You're not missing on E-tanks or anything, so it may not be as important to you. But yeah, this one's slow. Because of the water physics and because of the sheer amount of enemies you fight. But these shots are actually destroyable, so if you use the lightning legs, you can actually get rid of them. The lightning legs is actually kind of a good shield. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have armor-breaking properties. I wish it did. It had armor-breaking properties in Street Fighter 4. Why can't it have some here? Oh well. Yeah, you can see me trying to messing up here. I'm trying to slide, but I go down the ladder. A lot of things just go wrong here. Frame rate, everything. You'll see me trying to charge up, but I'll fail to charge another every now and then. It'll just be a medium shot, which does no extra damage in this game, by the way. Only the charge shot does more damage than the single shot. I'll show you in a second. These guys, these slugs, they all take 6 shots. I'll show you why that's... I'll show you why it's kind of a bother. The only good thing about the medium shot is that it's bigger. However, there's a downside. You can only have one medium shot or one charge shot on the screen at a time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the same amount of shots that you would need if you had just the normal shot. So the mid-charge shot, not as useful. Optic laser is always a good choice on these flowers. There's no reason not to use optic laser. That optic laser is overpowered. That's what I think. If it was 2 parts, if the laser was 2 sprites instead of 3, I wouldn't have minded it. But no, oh well. It does have a really high weapon energy consumption, though. And I don't know if I did it. I don't know if I did, but I think I did a perfect run of this stage. So yay me, I guess. Actually, I think I'm wrong. I might have not been able to do it. Oh well. Alright, so let's see what Ganagin is... Come on. Come on. Yeah, here's some fail right here. There we go. Ganagin is moderately useful against Blanca. Blanca is an easy boss as it is, since all you have to do is stay away from him. I do that kind of stupidly every now and then. When he charges up, he'll do his roll 2 times, so watch out. Simply jumping here and just getting a charge up ready won't get you through the day. The watermelons are easily destroyed with Ganagin because you can just turn around and shoot. In fact, the only thing hard about Blanca would be the surprise factor. There's nothing else that you should be afraid of, as long as you keep your distance from him, like what I didn't do there. So there goes my perfect. Ah! Other than that, Blanca is a very easy boss. Just destroy the watermelon before he throws them around like a crazy dude. So I'd say Ganagin is only moderately useful here, because the only thing you would be able to overpower with your projectile durability would be, well, the watermelons. Oh, on another note, the Blanca Ball, the Tropical Hazard, is probably my favorite weapon in this game. If it got more, you know, usability out of it, I would have liked it. If the stages were longer, I'm sure they could have fit in more ways to use this thing. Like, use it to get to higher platforms, or do things like that, or puzzles. There's not a lot of puzzles in this game. There's no disappearing blocks, there's nothing like that. Which I was kind of upset about, but oh well. Ganagin is particularly useful during the rush jet portion of this area, mostly because you can use your incredible amount of shots to dissipate anything that gets in your way, really. Especially these, which I still don't know what they are. I'm pretty sure it's Q, but I don't know why it says cool or anything like that. Also, I think it's funny seeing floating Megamans not on rush. Here I exploit the delay on the second shot so I can take out some more dudes. Yeah. Look at that power. Like this guy right here. You can really overpower his bullets that way. Like that. Like, I wish there was a rush jet scene in the castle or something like, not the castle, in the fortress or anything. They could have done more of this game. I feel like they could have done a lot more. I'm kind of upset, I guess, but hey, it's a free game. It's free. They backed it. They even compensated the guys that made it. They paid the people that, you know, did the fan game. So I can't complain. I really can't. I can say what I wanted, though. I really did want a little more from this game than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a little more than what I imagined. Well, no, that's not fair. It was more than what I imagined in some areas, but less than some other areas, such as the length of these stages and the lack of enemies. Like this flaming thing is everywhere. More kinds of Bushido Joes. Yeah, they could have had a lot more. Maybe some cameos of different characters, considering this is probably going to be the only thing in this game that'll have Mega Man Street Fighter in this fashion, probably. Unless some fan game comes out, in which case, good for you guys. Here I waste some time with the Ganagin because I wanted to run out before I use it again. Because at this rate, I'm not going to be able to show you how it does against Rose. Overall, this is a good game, though. Yeah, here, I'm gonna wait until it runs out. There we go. I'd like to hear what you guys think of the game in the comments, viewers. Here you can use the Yoga Fire, since you can aim it up and down, and destroy these guys before they push you off the pillars, like that. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments, viewers. If you enjoyed this game or didn't enjoy this game, tell me what you liked and what you didn't like. That's what comments are for, not for causing arguments or anything like that, or saying good stuff like that. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, I think I switched to Object Laser. There we go. And with a little bit of Ganagin, we'll be able to take on Rose. We don't need it too much of it. It's okay. Here I fail at, activating it again, and we have watermelons. There we go. Ganagin is good and bad on Rose. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Rose, you may not notice, but Rose can reflect your shots. You'll see it every now and then. Some people probably don't know because they'll use the Tropical Hazard, but she can reflect shots. It's kind of like that. I destroyed my own shot with my mirror image charge shot. You can hear it every now and then. The tink sound? Yeah, there it is. Hit myself with it. So, it's okay, as long as you're aware as to when it happens. Like, she did it again. And there you have it. So, just be careful when you're using the Ganagin on Rose if you're going to start with her. Or, even if you don't have the Ganagin and you're going to start with Rose, just be careful. She can reflect your shots. It's not as obvious as Urian's Aegis Reflector. Soul Satellite is definitely one of my more favorite weapons of this game. I thought it was very creative to have this, since it's a weapon that you can both shoot with and protect yourself. It's not a perfect shield, but because it's not a perfect shield, they allowed you to shoot from it, which is pretty inventive. Although the shot from the Soul Satellite isn't exactly as powerful as I imagined it would be. Then again, it's also free, and you only take weapon energy out of the actually, no, it's not free, excuse me. Here I demonstrate that the Hockey Puck takes priority in hit when I try to do the Hadoken. Saving works later for the Optic Laser. If you're wondering why you're not hitting these towers, it's probably because you're hitting the puck. That, and I think the towers are actually immune to Optic Laser. Here I failed to take out some Metools, but oh well. Metors. Yeah, here's one of these things. Optic Laser does not work on these dudes, so I decide to just kick him to death. I thought the puck was gonna come back, so I wanted to kick it, but oh well. Knowing that the Lightning Legs takes out these pucks is pretty useful. There we go. So you do it when you can. I mean, this game is short though, so I mean, you don't get that many opportunities to make your weapons useful, but hey, there you go. Also, this is probably my longest episode I'll ever do in my life. A full freaking run through of the game. Can't believe it. I activate Ganagin in here because I thought the boss was already here, but instead we're on an elevator. But hey, whatever. It's actually pretty useful on this little tower if you don't have any other weapons. Unfortunately, I couldn't change weapons to get rid of the puck, so I ended up just waiting it out. Thankfully, there's nothing else potentially dangerous in here. Once you take out the tower, that's about it. The Ganagin on Rolento is arguably not useful at all. There's no point to using it. The second shot doesn't hit him. There's nothing you can really destroy with it. Shooting grenades is something that is an after effect, not on purpose. So Ganagin, you don't need it. But either way, Rolento is a pretty easy boss to to defeat because of his predictability. The only thing you should be careful of is the spacing between you and the grenades. But that's about it. I like Rolento's weapon, I just wish it was a little stronger on Urien. You'll see what I mean later on. Also, I wish Minesweeper had some different angles. Sort of like the Blanca Ball. If you had, like, maybe... I know you can fire it while sliding and you'll drop a mine, but other than that, there's no other angle to use this Minesweeper. I wish there was a better way to use it. Sort of like the Hyper Bomb from Mega Man Powered Up. Bomb Man's Hyper Bomb could be tossed at different angles, 3 of them to be exact, along with dropping it on the ground. I wish they thought of that. Here I use the Soul Satellite to avoid incoming avian enemies. Mostly because I think it's fun. The Soul Satellite's shots are really, really big. So you can use them to punish really weak enemies that are hard to hit with the normal Mega Buster. That and the fact that you can combine with other weapons is pretty friggin' sweet. Unfortunately, you cannot combine it with Ganagin. Oh wait, no, you can. But it will go away pretty quickly, so it's not something you can do constantly. For those of you who are new to the game, don't freak out here. Just charge up your buster and shoot the head. Here, the Soul Satellite is a lot more useful than I imagined it to be against these flaming dudes. Although, don't expect the shield to protect you every time. Now, what I like about Urien's stage is that there's a lot of thought put into it. You can see that because of the game freezing. No, I'm just kidding. Because of the weapon power-ups they drop here, they encourage you to use the weapon that Urien is weak against before you fight him. There's no reason to stockpile it. The weapon is relatively cheap, and they give you lots of weapon power-ups along the way. So the game was pretty generous on how they decided to approach this area, and they encouraged you to actually use it, like during the stage, because of all these reflectors. So don't be stingy, viewers. Use the bomb. See, look here. They practically give you a whole half a tank here. Look at that. Look at that. Use it. There's no reason not to. Here I just try experiments here and use the Yoga Inferno to take out these things. Probably not the best idea. The explosions even destroyed the bullets from these Anubis-looking dudes. And they even give you some towards the end. What a nice game. Of course, we're not going to be using that. We're going to be using Ganagin. Ganagin is arguably the worst thing you could possibly do on Urien. But I do it anyway because I'm a masochist. It's not so much a problem now, but later it will be because of his Aegis Reflector. However, I do have some issues with the Minesweeper. I'll discuss them later. And arguably, I think fighting Urien with just the Mega Buster is the smarter thing to do. Not Ganagin, though. Here's the downside of Ganagin. If you use a charge shot on Urien while using Ganagin, the first shot will hit him, but the second one will pass through and most likely hit you. You need to be careful. And with that, we have an Ultra Combo finish. Woo! I tried really hard to apply the Hadoken in the ground Hadoken while playing through this. It was just too hard for me to do. It's a nice little bonus, but it's not something that'll make your gameplay even easier. The only thing that'll make your gameplay easier is Ganagin. Those of you who have seen my original Let's Play know that I think this is the farthest the Hadoken has ever gone, and I think Dan is definitely improving if this is canon. I played through Ryu's stage so many times that I really have nothing to comment on. Using the Aegis Reflector, though, if you feel like using it, it's pretty useful here. Here I realized that you can only have 2 Aegis Reflectors on the screen at once, so keep that in mind. Throughout the stage you'll see these guys, and the Aegis Reflector takes care of them very, very well, if you're willing to give up the energy you would use in Ryu's fight. Which I think you should, because, well, the Aegis Reflector isn't as good as you think, as I thought it would be on Ryu. Here you can get those weapon power up to heal your Aegis Reflector's gauge if you felt like it. I didn't. Make sure you jump over the ledge and go over here to get the E-Tank, because everyone should know about this E-Tank by now. Bushido Joe is pretty hard to beat, but the Soul Satellite apparently goes through his shield, so collisions will cause him death. Again, if you haven't seen the original Let's Play, this thing here says the date that Mega Man was released. I think it was 1984. Yes, it's 1984. I know it is. I hope I'm not wrong. I really don't want to look it up. Oh well. Here I try to see if the Mind Sweeper can go through it. It doesn't. Bushido Joes are probably the coolest enemies in this game. I love these guys. Here I try using the Hadoken again. Pretty silly. You can always rush down to Bushido Joe if you have the charge shot ready, so don't be afraid to use it. I'd say the best way to use a Hadoken is to lead into forward movement, because the Hadoken is slow. There's some weapon energy to your left here, so if you want to heal the Aegis Reflector's gauge again, you can use it there. Ooh, a life! Yeah! I didn't have to beat that Bushido Joe up, but I did. And I got a life for it. And a life from that guy. And I'll feel lucky. And here's where you can use the Aegis Reflector really well. This is usually a situation where everyone would usually get hit. Now, if you use that and the optic laser here, well then there's no reason to be afraid. Now we're going to use Ganejin on Ryu. And it's arguably very good on Ryu because of his Hadokens. What's fun about this game is that everything has projectile durability. Everything in this game is projectile durability. Now, everything minus the Shakunetsu, if you have some good distance, can be destroyed with Ganejin, because you can overpower it. Even the Metsu Hadoken is pretty paper if you just do that. I play pretty poorly here because, I don't know. I haven't fought Ryu with just the Mega Buster in a while, and the game does freeze up every now and then, so I kind of screw up. But I don't die, so there you have it. Like right there, I try to jump, I'll do a hop skip instead. Hop skip. Mind you, you can also slide under the Tatsumaki Senpukyaku. And with that, it's an ultra combo finish. So Ryu, just as hard if you have the Ganejin, but if you have the sense of mind to use it to defeat projectiles that you would seem annoying, then go ahead and use it. He's vulnerable on the ground anyway, and that's usually the only time you can hit him. And of course, once you defeat Ryu, the Hadoken you get as a bonus is relatively useless now, because you have a power that does it at a much faster rate. You can do it in the air too. I'd say the best strategy for all the bosses in this game are the same. The best strategy is to stay away from them. Play with, keep it cool. You have, almost all the enemies in this game don't have projectiles that can go full screen like Mega Man can. Here I activate the Ganejin just in time. Ganejin is actually very useful on Balrog's stage because you can overpower all the enemies that come across the right side of the screen. Well, most of them anyway, minus the fireworks. And if you know, and if you, okay viewers, if you're new, don't shoot Balrog. There's no reason to shoot Balrog. He won't die before you can get to the end. But you can use it to just get rid of everything, and they'll even drop some powers for you if you have the sense of mind to keep going. The Grenadian will last you the entire route, so don't be afraid to use it, as long as you can get it out, that is. When the floor becomes gray, just keep shooting along the ground. There'll be some carts with nets in them, like in Chun-Li's stage. Another hint is, once you get to, hold on a second. Once you get here, slide to the right continuously. Did you hear that, viewers? That was a E-tank. And there you see my first perfect of this game. Of this run-through. Which you can easily get by using Grenadian to get rid of projectiles here. Here, Grenadian is actually kind of useful. But I won't show you here, show you that until the boss. Here you can use a lot of your powers to make you safe here. You can use the Soul Satellite to get rid of all the incoming flame heads. Make sure you just time it right. Up here you can use the Aegis Reflector to take out the whole row of guys as you jump under. Or if you're feeling ballsy, you can just climb in between them. Here you have the reflectors. Reflector orbs. Hey, just use a grenade on them. It arcs up, so there's a good reason to use them. Here you can use the optic laser to get rid of these guys. Be careful though, as they switch their projectile trajectory every now and then. Like right here, the guy will shoot downward, and then he'll shoot downward again, and I get confused. An Aegis Reflector on the top will get rid of the tension, as you don't need to charge up. Wait for yourself to charge up as you take on the flame heads. Never underestimate the pause screen, viewers. If you feel like you would benefit by pausing the screen and selecting a weapon from there, do it. It's very useful. When you want to use Soul Satellite in conjunction with another weapon, like the Yoga Inferno here, use the pause menu. It's more useful than you know. If you're worried about your spacing or not confident enough, use the Yoga Inferno upwards. Optic Blades will take care of the swords pretty easily. Here I stupidly jumped into those, so Optic Blades are so good! Oh my god. It's not even Viper's original move. Although I am glad they included it. Alright, so here you get all the stuff, but we're not going to be using Lightning Legs to defeat Vega. No, we're going to be using the Mega Buster and Grenadian. Grenadian... Okay, now here's where I tell you a little secret, viewers. Grenadian makes you move faster. Your walking speed is increased when you use Grenadian. Did you know that, viewers? I bet you didn't. So here's how you fight Vega. You just keep it safe. You can dash away from him from the opposite side of the screen if you slide away from him. It's very easy. As long as you keep a good spacing from him, you'll be able to dodge every single one of his attacks. His Rolling Crystal Flash, his Izuna drop, his Flying Barcelona attack, they're all pretty useless if you can keep a good spacing. But there I messed up because I'm on the wrong side of the map. That was ambiguous though. The game freezes up right here, but we dodge it anyway. He's very punishable here, but I don't recommend using Lightning Legs on him because you'll probably just get hit. And one last shot. There you go. See that? I didn't have any trouble at all, really. In fact, I took less damage than I think you would normally if you used the Lightning Legs. So don't be afraid to deviate from the battle plan. Don't use Lightning Legs on Vega. Just keep a good spacing game. Excuse me for my fighting game speak. You just gotta play the game. You gotta play the meta. Keep a good spacing. He doesn't have projectiles. Only you do. Here I activate the Guile's theme cheat just because I wanted to do it for kicks. You know, because I feel like winning. I try to see if the Mind Sweeper can destroy these guys. Turns out it doesn't. It doesn't go through their shields. Nothing goes through shields in this game. Kinda ticks me off. Game freezes up there too, but oh well. Use the Yoga Inferno up there to get rid of those towers. And then I use the Tropical Hazard. Actually, I shield myself with the Aegis Reflector. That's right. And get up there to get the E-Tank. You can use the Tropical Hazard like you would the Mega Ball in Mega Man 8. Yeah, again, the Optic Laser does not work. Neither does the Minesweeper, by the way. It only exploded because it went to contact with other grenades. The thing to take these guys out with is the Yoga Inferno. Although if the puck is on top, you won't be able to kill the last dude, so keep that in mind. I decided to destroy these guys over here with the lightning legs, and it actually comes to fruition. I get a 1-up. So now here is where I talk about the weaknesses, viewers. This is where we're going to use the weaknesses on the bosses and compare it to the experience we had when we used just the Buster. So when fighting Ryu... hey, past me. Get it on with. Thank you. So when fighting Ryu, the Aegis Reflector is very situational. You're not going to be using it all the time. Switch to the Mega Buster instead, and you'll have an easier moment. Relying on that shield to reflect projectiles for you isn't gonna work. In fact, you just may end up getting hit that way. As you can see here, it's not doing much. I mean, I am controlling the space a little more, but most of the damage, more than half of the damage Ryu will take is from the Mega Buster. And the, the Aegis Reflector physical shield, but other than that, that's it. In this case, I'd say the weakness of the Ryu is kind of inconsequential. It's kind of useless. By the way, you can actually slide under that Tatsumaki. I don't know if I already told you, but there's my review for that weapon weakness. It doesn't necessarily break Ryu, but it's not necessarily useless either. Here we're gonna fight Dalsum, and the optic laser is definitely a breaking weapon for Dalsum. It'll plow right through his Yoga Inferno. It does great damage to him already. You can hardly miss with it. Although I end up getting my butt beat because I keep hitting his slide. But I mean, look at that! It just breaks him. It's amazing. What's next? I think it's is it Blanca? Yeah, here we go. Blanca is also easily broken by the Yoga Inferno, although I forget right here that he rolls twice. Excuse me for that. So when he does the Roar of Thunder, you can actually get him stuck into an infinite loop for his super if you do this. If you do the Yoga Inferno in the air and then hit him on the ground, he'll just get stuck. And he will keep doing that move over and over and over again. And you'll probably be able to perfect him if you had full life and you did things right. Which I didn't, but oh well. I think here is, Rolento. Soul Satellite is okay useful. You do more damage with charge shots from a distance, but if he was conveniently near you when you did the Soul Satellite, you'd be able to do more damage. It's a kind of a trade-off. Also, when you hit the grenades with your satellite, it may blow them up like that, like that, what just happened, preemptively before they hit the ground, and you may get hit by it. So Soul Satellite, it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I don't know if it's that useful. If you keep your spacing right, though, you probably can't hit him with your satellite itself. I fail to do that every now and then. Like right here is probably the best opportune moment to hit him with them. Other than that, I'd actually recommend activating Soul Satellite and using the Mega Buster instead. What's next? I think it's Rose. Rose is actually pretty easy if you use the Tropical Hazard. It was thought out. This weakness was well thought out. And the game freezes up there, I don't know why. She certainly can't reflect the Tropical Hazard, and it goes through all of her projectiles. When she warps, it'll probably hit her as she teleports towards you. Here I play some dodgeball, and I almost die. But hey, there you go. Not the best win. Now here's one of my not so great moments. The Urian fights. I absolutely hate using Minesweeper on Urian. There's such a delay on the mine, in that it's only useful for breaking that shield. That's the only thing it's useful for. The spacing is awkward. You'll usually get hit. Trying to hit him with that marked angle. the best thing to do is probably just hit him with a normal Mega Buster and mine the shield. Just break the shield with the Minesweeper and then switch back to the Mega Buster. And yeah, I get read like a book right there, but oh well. And as you can see, his weakness isn't so much of a weakness. It doesn't do a ton of damage. I think I die again too. God, I hate it when he shoots in like the middle of the screen like that. But yeah, he does so much damage to you that it's best to just stay away from him. That way you can dodge all his projectiles and see when he's going to charge. Here I think I'm gonna win, like if I really tried, but turns out I don't. Thought I was gonna, but instead I get hit by a electric orb. I think that's definitely the worst weakness of this game. I wish it did more damage to Urian, but it doesn't. I know it sounds kind of stupid to compare this kind of, like, maybe it's unfair for the game for me to say such things, but it is a Capcom game now. Here I use the Minesweeper to get rid of the shield while dodging things and using the Mega Buster right. And maybe it's just because I don't like arc weapons, but I thought that I had an easier time when I was using the Mega Buster. In fact, I win. So, I don't know. I just think it's better to use the Mega Buster. The weakness doesn't do enough damage for you to warrant the spacing, the awkwardness of the weapon. That's all I have to say about that. Now, don't get me wrong, viewers. I love this game. I want you to know that. Here we'll demonstrate some of the Viper's weakness. Because of all this stuff going on the screen, there's not usually a time you can get the kick in, except maybe after a Blaze Kick. You definitely can't do it here, and I take advantage of the situation and use the Mega Buster. And switch back to Lightning Legs. See here, I just keep getting hit. I can't do it. Ow! Now here I actually get pretty lucky. I shoot her, and then as she does a Blaze Kick, I stuff it with the Lightning Leg. That was lucky. I would have died. Now Chun-Li's weakness is, I mean, you can't go wrong with a Hadouken. It's just like a normal shot, so there you have it. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's your only other it's a projectile. They'll go through Hikokoken, and she's an easy boss nonetheless, so there's no reason for the weapon to do any more damage than it should. Also, I demonstrate again, you can slide under here. Here I use an E-Tank so I can get a perfect on the enemy. Because you only need your, yeah, I do a standard Hadouken. You only need to have full HP to do a perfect. Keep that in mind, viewers. If you're almost killing a guy, you get enough E-Tanks in the game for you to do 3 perfects, so make sure you get those 3 perfects if you want to fight Akuma. As you can see through this playthrough, I've only gotten 2 perfects. God dang it. Come on. There you go. So now we'll see what Genagin does against, well, M. Bison. Because of Genagin, there's some awkward sprite flicker with Bison. It's not just his teleporting that's doing that, but it's okay. Now, I have to say that even though a lot of people agree that Vega is a lot harder than Bison, I think he's a lot harder if you use the Mega Buster just on him, whereas Vega is a lot easier if you use the Mega Buster on him. Crazy, right? Yeah, I know. Ah! Bison does a lot of damage, and you can't really easily destroy his electric orbs, his purple energy orbs, without the Optic Blast, and they'll end up hitting you with their spiral. Genagin is only moderately useful here, because it may have a chance to detonate the orb before it does anything. However, sometimes it'll fail, and it won't destroy it. Here I use an E-Tank because I'm afraid I'm gonna die. Other than that, it's a pretty defensive game. You just have to watch out for the knee press nightmares. See, as you can see, I'm getting hit by these sparks all day, for days. The Optic Blast would dissipate all of them and destroy them all, but that's about it. So I didn't fight Akuma here, and I only got 2 perfects. In my other playthrough, I got 3 perfects. What does that tell you, viewers? You need to get 3 perfects in order to fight Akuma, and it can be during any time in the game. You don't need to get 4, you don't need to do it during the last stage, you don't need to get them on every single boss during the beginning of the stage select. You only need to get 3 perfects, and that's it. That's all you need to get. And yes, the code for Guile does carry over through the ending scene. Because, hey, we're a winner. We win. That's it. So I think the game is great. I thought it was a very good nod for Mega Man fans who want to support the game, support the character, and the company. Hopefully all of you have downloaded the game by now and played it for yourself. So there you have it.